looks like we have another no cool call this morning from a tenant. Their complaint is that they turned the AC on over the weekend while it was a little warmer and didn't really notice the temperature going down at all in the house. Could not really tell me whether it was blowing air out of the vents or just not blowing cold air out of the vents. So that would be a nice distinction to know, but they did mention that the outdoor unit appeared to be running. So we'll stop by over here and see what we can find. All right. Put it on cool. Drop it down a bit. Let's see if I hear anything. Heard the thermostat click. I do feel air movement through the vent, so we are running. Also see a wet spot. Don't know if that's current or old. We'll take a look and see what we find. We are running, and I can hear the compressor. Nice little drain trap there. So I attach our gauges and see what we have here. I don't feel like it's displacing much heat, so we're probably going to be low. We also notice there's only one service cap out here, and it does not have a gasket in it. This other one for the high pressure side, or liquid side, doesn't even have a service cap on it. So we are low, just judging by our suction side. However, without that service cap, these little Schrader valves are known to leak. It could just easily be that. We may have another issue. This particular unit is using, well, it was using R32. It looks like it was refit. We'll see if I got that. I think I do. All right, this particular unit's using 407C. I have a little bit of this, but typically here lately when I've been doing refits, we've been using, I think it's 453A. It just seems to be a little easier to get a hold of out this way for whatever reason. I do have a little of that, so hopefully we have enough to charge this particular unit back up. After speaking to the landlord, he does want to try just putting these caps on and seeing what he gets out of it. So in this particular case, ideal world, I would rather put some dye or sealant in it at least, but we have to do what the owner wants. Use this. And being that it has been refit to 407C, we don't really know exactly. The charging chart's not going to be exactly correct. So just going by our temperatures, we'll add a little to get it above freezing. You can hear it changing pitch as it starts taking some refrigerant. We will check our indoor wet bulb, our outdoor temperature, and come up with a target superheat. Alright, we added a little bit to get up above freezing, so we'll just wait for our psychrometer and double check and see what our target superheat should be. Probably not going to be 100% correct because this unit was not designed to run necessarily with it. With the drop-in replacement, it is very close to R22, so we'll just follow the math and see where we come out. using our psychrometer and our outdoor temperature to get our wet bulb inside and our ambient out here. We'll come up with 20.1 degree superheat is our target. So we'll just add a little refrigerant until we hit that mark. Usually plus or minus about 3 degrees. It is a little humid inside, I believe. If I recall, since walking outside, I think it was about 61% humidity in there. All right, that's about as good as we could hope to get it. We're at 20.2 degrees superheat, calling for 20.1. We're done with the refrigerant charge on this one. The landlord, as I said, they declined the offer of the dye or the sealant in this unit, being that we were missing any kind of service cap on the liquid side. Those Schrader cores are kind of known to leak. They are just little pin valves, and similar to on your car tire. If you don't put a cap on it, you may lose pressure just through that. So we'll put some nice brass caps on here with some good O-rings when we're done. And hopefully that will take care of his leaking issue. If not, hopefully he'll take me up on the offer of either dye or sealant to try to figure out where it's leaking from. But as far as today goes, I believe we will wrap it up. We probably had just enough 407 for this. I don't feel like I have very much left. Just taking advantage of our low loss fittings. Pull all the refrigerant in my liquid hose back into the unit. So pressure is kind of equalized. We'll disconnect our low pressure side. Cap this guy up. Not a bad little service call on that one. The complaint of possibly no to low airflow, do keep in mind that can be caused by low refrigerant, or even if you have, say, like a dirty filter, it sets off the unit freezing. Once your vapor saturation point drops below freezing, any condensation that builds up on that coil, your evaporator coil, in that case the heat pump, it would have been the upstairs coil, air handler coil, will start freezing. As it freezes, blocks more airflow, drops the temperature, gets colder, literally snowballs. So before long you can have a huge chunk of ice restricting any airflow through the system. So that more than likely is what was going on there. This particular unit did not have even a cap at all on the liquid service cap. Those little Schrader cores are reminiscent of your pin valves and your car tires, so they can leak if you don't have a cap on them. So landlord elected to give it the benefit of the doubt this time and put some nice caps on it and go from there. Personally, I would have liked to put some dye in it at least, but he elected not to. So we'll move on to the next one and see what we can